Morning, everybody. How many people are sleeping? Okay. We're going to have a small talk, majorly an interaction session. It wouldn't be something where I would be the one only talking and you would be the one going off to sleep. So we'll try to have some kind of an interaction. We'll share some ideas. In the end, we will be leaving some time for the Q&A. So just in case if you have any questions, you can ask us at the end of the session. Just so that you know, what you can expect from us is there'll be two halves. One is where we will have a little brief discussion, as the topic says that brain, the priceless commodity. And thereafter we will have a little bit of presentation from some lovely little kids that you can see sitting on the very first row. They have some flabbergasting events to perform in front of you. Fine. Yes, so to begin with, all of you are like junior college or higher to that, like 16 plus, 18 plus? 18 plus? And most people attending over here are like taking the branches of science or the branches of economics or commerce. How many of y'all are like science students here? Quite a lot. Okay. So how many of y'all know a lot about the brain? Like who has taken any of those fields which are related to the brain in any which way? No one? Okay, I have one. That's it? Nobody from the students? Okay, so then what I'm going to be talking is obviously something maybe new to you all. Even if not, then I'm sure it should be something beneficial. Do you want me to begin while people walk in? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so my visit to Malaysia was basically because I was invited by UTAR. My first weekend, that was just the last weekend I spent in Kampar, where I gave a speech and a talk on the similar topic. And we had a lot of university students who were very, very proactive, and they were very much part of the entire interaction session. We often even call some volunteers to come up while we are performing, so please be active enough to come forward. If not, then we will pick somebody of our choice. So you need to be very attentive, because I was told by Alex that most of the students sitting here are sitting here because they need to earn points for their... See, I know the secrets. So I would want you all to actually focus on what's happening. Okay. I have been part of the Mental Sports Federation since the past 3 years. And we go around as speakers. We do go around visiting a couple of other countries, colleges, schools, where we talk a lot about brain health. And we really keep promoting the awareness, because our generation is very prone to having illnesses and sicknesses and diseases related to brain health. Some could be on a very minor scale, which I think most of us are very commonly suffering with, is something what you call in local language as stress. So yes, that's one thing that you all have. And something that goes more severe to that would be things like memory loss, short-term memory losses, or problems where you have to recall things that you have already tried to learn. And this, I think you'll all face that quite often during examinations, that you try as much as hard to think that what did you study, and then eventually you just don't recall it. So that's also one kind of it. But these kind of things are pretty much common. This has been happening with many generations, and those things are the normal lapse of the brain which happens occasionally, which is fine. But then going forward, when these things are not paid much attention to and not really taken care of, they lead to severe situations. Those situations are resulting in diseases and sicknesses like chronic depression, the other ones being memory loss ones like Alzheimer's. I'm sure, I think you all would have heard the term Alzheimer's. How many of you all like are not aware of the term? Okay, so most. Okay, fine. I will speak about it. No problem. So Alzheimer's is one thing. Dementia is one thing. Though all of these are much detected when you're old. You actually come to know during your research studies or when you actually go to doctors, when you realize that you're forgetting even the basic things. By the time you're actually detected with it, you're 50 plus, which is too late. By then, you cannot do anything medically. There is actually no cure for these kind of diseases. So the only thing is that we, our generation, by the year of 2030, is expected to be detected by the World Alzheimer's Report, it says, with 65.7 million cases of Alzheimer's. That will be happening by the year 2030. So that also means that it's our generation which is going to be struck by it. So that also again means that at this very moment, in this year itself, or from now itself, we have to really take care of our brain. As much as we like to take care of our body. I'm sure we women, we all girls like to spend a lot when it comes to taking care of our skin, when it comes to taking care of our hair. We keep changing all the shampoos and the conditioners and going for hair spa and so many other things. When it comes for boys, they are very much interested in how they look physically. Well, nowadays boys are also very conscious about their hair and skin. And then they need to know that how much muscle power they need to have. And this all happens just to impress your own self, to look good in the mirror, or to impress the person opposite you. But something that's not visible externally is your brain, because it's hiding into that hard shell there. So that's something we think, it's just lying there, let it just lie there. But priceless commodity, when we say, is because we born with it. It's a gift that we have, and we should not really, take it for granted that, okay, it's there, it's fine, it'll be there. But it won't be there the way it is till you don't feed it. And the brain is more hungry than your stomach. It's something that's working all the time, even while you're sleeping in some ways or the other. Maybe not very actively, but there are some things. Like for example, your breathing. Obviously, it's not that you switch off your switch while breathing and say, okay, I'm going to go off to sleep, I don't need to breathe while I'm sleeping. That doesn't happen. So there are a couple of things that happens, including a lot of things that your body controls. They say that your nails and your hair grow maximum when you're asleep at night. So obviously, somewhere the brain is doing its job constantly. It's never really sleeping. So because it's constantly on and it's constantly active, that is the reason why it needs more food. Like if you eat something and you go to the gym, you start working out, you have a lot of physical activities, you start feeling hungry faster. Then you want to go pump yourself with some kind of juices or with something to eat. Similarly, the brain needs it often. Right from the time we are born. In fact, even before, while we are conceived also. It is said by researchers that 90% of your brain is developed when you're in the womb of your mom. So it's like a lot of things you kind of already know. This also involves that our memory is divided usually into two things which we very layly call one is subconscious mind, one is conscious mind. I'm sure most of you all at least use these kind of terms. Now what happens is, some memories we can recall. Like for example, you might remember probably a few incidences of when you were 3 years old, 4 years old or so. But as much as you try, you don't remember anything before you came on the planet. And as much as you try, you might not even remember what happened in the first 6 months of your life. Whatever you know is whatever you imagine because somebody has told you. You by yourself do not have any memory of it. But that is because your conscious mind cannot recall. But actually, those memories are there. And they are there and they're saved in your subconscious mind. Now this memory part that we have in our brain is very huge. How much we spend on, saving our data into the cloud and buying USBs and hard drives, and we really put in a lot of money to get those extra gigabytes and TVs and everything. But our cloud of a year is something that you don't need to pay money for. You have it with you. And what you can do is, I'm sure you've heard a lot about people like Einstein and so many other big names that we hear who have really had great brain power in terms of performing certain activities, getting a lot with inventions. getting a lot with memorization of a lot of things. They really had everything in their brain because those days there was nothing really to recall. You didn't have gadgets, you didn't have things where you could store, you didn't have computers in that way where you could actually store a lot of memory. So all that generation was, they could depend on anything was only their brain. Somehow, with passing time, we have become more dependent. It's also, if you notice something, that maybe most people, this is something that I was just noticing one day while having a chat on some journey somewhere. I realized that in our generation, we have not really invented anything. If you go to see, there are innovations happening. The idea is the same. Probably what happened years back. Like for example, let's talk about commutation, your trains. Speed has come, there are greater trains, better machines, better kind of train station developments, so many kind of things have happened. But basically trains were invented way long back. So it's not that we have invented the trains. All that we have done is, we have just went on adding our innovative ideas. So if you're going to see, our generation is not really inventing anything. So there's something, that we are lacking in, and that's because we're not using our creativity completely. Now, in order to use our creativity completely, there are a couple of things we need to do. Like for example, how many of y'all have heard about the stress ball activity? Quite a few hands. There's something called a stress ball. You get a particular ball which is used for stress. So people have the habit of like hitting it against a wall and it would bounce back to you, and then they keep focusing onto that. So basically they're trying to improve their eye-hand coordination by trying to forget everything else that's happening around them. So that's called a particular stress ball activity that a lot of people do carry. In fact, it's very common to find among a lot of corporates. They're always having this ball in their desk. So similarly, now rather than, again banking ourselves on a ball, there are some things that you can do just by yourself without carrying any additional devices or gadgets or materials with you, because I think you already have a lot to carry. So there are a couple of things that you can already do when you are a kid. Now that we have passed that stage, it's still not late, because as I said, you can always learn. Only that maybe you might take a little more time than what you would have when you would have been 8, 9 years old. But learning is something that's possible at any age. And that's exactly what I am going to be showing to you in ways of a presentation, so that it's more believable, not in ways of by just talking, not in ways by just showing you a video, something that you can see live, something that you can test. So please be active enough, enjoy the session that's going to come up next. You have these little kids sitting, they're going to be performing some things first for you to understand what you can do. Nevertheless, you can test them. We love when people doubt them. So we love when people have questions. So you all can actually openly ask questions, you all can test them. So preferably if you all can keep, by the time they come up, preferably if you can keep a pen and paper in handy, and maybe your calculating device with you handy, maybe on a phone or on a tab or whatever. That will help you enjoy the session even more. So please be active enough, come forward, ask as much questions as you have. At the end, I will come back again for your Q&A round. Meanwhile, I would like to invite 2 people who have accompanied me here to just make everything very interactive and fun-loving. One is Indian Cube Association. Is an association which is a non-profit organization which teaches you the Rubik's Cube. I'm sure most of you at least know what the Rubik's Cube is all about. How many of you all can solve the Rubik's Cube here? Wow, lovely smiles I get for everything. Yes, you can. Okay, there's one guy. That's interesting. 2, 3. I can see 3 hands. 3, 4 hands. Nice. So maybe we can even have a small competition. Is that okay? No? We can do that. We have gifts available. We've carried some gifts also. So, a Rubik's Cube is something, it's a very old puzzle, and even till today, it's known as one of the most difficult puzzles. People sit for days with it and don't really get it. But what will shock you is something that I don't want to see. I'll not tell you. It's something that you should see and experience for yourself. So Indian Cube Association goes around spreading the awareness of the cubes, that how important it is because of the reason it has so many colors onto it. It's an eye-hand coordination activity. It develops a lot of skills into your brain, which is like visuals. It develops your creativity, it develops your logical, it develops your analytical, it develops your intelligence, it develops your endurance. These major 5 to 7 skills are something that your brain needs all the time. So, and it's not something that you need to really remove time aside, because I know you all are very busy, you have assignments, you have so much to study, there's so many other things to do, which leaves you with very less time for your own self. But these are things which you can actually, whatever we are showing you is something that you can do even while, like say for example, you're having a bath, even while you're eating. So wherever you're not really using a lot of productivity, that's where you can incorporate this without removing any additional time. In the end, I'll also come back to tell you how you can benefit out of it. Meanwhile, I'll call upon the directors of Indian Cube Association who have brought Indian Cube Association to what it is today. They've offered it to so many students. They have also given them another chance to even perform this as competitions. So eventually, they can even take this up as a professional career, because solving the Rubik Cube is one of the certified mental sports and recognized in pretty many countries. And it actually happens as an official sport, like the way soccer may happen. So I'd like to call upon Mr. Eusebius Norna, who also is my dad, and he will be taking the next talk forward. And the other director is sitting right here, Urmila Rana. These two of them are the ones in India who have been spreading the awareness of cubing. They'll also show you many other things that we do, and I'll come back at the end and then explain details. Okay.
Hello everyone. Before I begin actually, it has taken me back to my college days, and definitely feeling younger today to be among you all. I think when haven't noticed, Mr. Wong, please wait. That's Mr. Wong, the human calculator of Malaysia. You people must be not aware of him. He is Mr. Very fondly called as West Wong, and the world knows him as the human calculator. And I'm very surprised the students of Malaysia doesn't know him. He's a very big celebrity, and I'm very happy to have him over here. He quietly walked in without anybody noticing him. 2012 Olympics in Turkey, he was the bronze medalist or silver medalist, I forgot myself. Bronze medalist, and he can add up number that flashes on the screen, and he can calculate big numbers. In fact, he defeated us in that event. So Mr. West Wong, very happy to see you here. I have with me one more amazing kid like Mr. Wong, and I would like to call him without much taking your time. And he is the today youngest cuber in India who can solve 3 cubes in less than 2 minutes. 3 cubes that are placed over here. He has defeated our own child to be the youngest one. And can you give the cubes to the crowd to scramble, please? As tough as possible. While you scramble and give it to him, can I have a memory champion? We have 2 of them, and both of them are sisters. One will be performing today, the second will be the judge. So I want both the sisters to come ahead, please. That's Henel to my left, and to the right is Harshi. Both of them are cousin sisters, and both of them are outshadowing over 50,000 contestants in India. The final 30, those were selected. Among them for memory, only 5 were selected. Among the 5 from 53 odd thousand contestants in India, they are the 2 who will be going for memory championship also. And that's Henil and Harshi. Can I have some volunteer? We need some more volunteer to shuffle the deck of cards. Harshi deck of card, Henil deck of card. Can someone come forward? You just have to shuffle this up, nothing more. Who knows to read card? What is this?
Two.
2 of?
Love.
2 of?
Love.
Hearts. Who knows to read them? Because I need someone, whether she's doing correctly or not. I have a gift for you. Ma'am, could you please come down? Somebody could shuffle for us. Okay, I'll only select someone.
As much as possible.
Oh. 哎，真的真的。啊，就像他的这个食物吗？对。
As Gwen said about the brain, here what these girls are actually trying to show you is the books that we read has text, words, sentences. You can read something. You can memorize them. And then you can appear for the examinations. I will leave it to you. What is more difficult? Reading books and appearing for tests and examinations? Or how can you memorize this deck of cards, 52 cards? Can you memorize them? This does not have sentences and words. So if you see, this is around 50 times tougher than the books that you study. Because there are words, sentences, algorithms. So these girls are trying to show you today that what we are doing is actually much easier. But if our brain was developed to a certain extent, we are here just to tell you the brain can do much, much more than just doing our university books. So here for Henil and Harshi, we'll give them maximum time of 5 minutes. They got to come back before 5 minutes. You all can take your seat. Here is Jinansh. He's back to the cube. He's not seeing the cube, okay? And you'll have scrambled the cube for him. Jinansh, are you ready? Jinan, she's very happy to see many beautiful girls, right? No. Okay. Who's the best girl over here? Huh? All of them. Oh, all of them are beautiful over here. I'll not take that name now. He liked one of the girl over here, he said. The one who's sitting in the crowd. Okay, he'll perform for her, right? Can we start the timer for him? Ready? I heard somebody more can solve cube in the crowd. Can they come down?
I can identify you, so rather I can come here.
Okay, it's okay, no problem. If you feel like you want to come down, you can come down. We have more cubes here. You can solve and you can win gift. No? Okay, fine. Yeah. Can I start for him? He will solve 3-layer cube, 2-way and pyramids. Start.